Let's hone in on one of those headline stories, and that has to do, of course, with the situation as it unfolded in Polokwane. The ANC, of course, gearing up to celebrate its 110th anniversary tomorrow in Limpopo. A number of events continued to be held, including yesterday's cancelled Lillian Ngoyi Memorial Lecture, when President Cyril Ramaphosa was, in some respects, asked to leave because of COVID-19 concerns. The party's spokesperson is Dakota Legoete. He joins us now via our telephone line to give us an update on their state of readiness, as well as to discuss many other issues to do with the ANC's affairs in that province. Mr. Legoete, thanks very much indeed for making time. It's great to have you on the program. Let's begin by just clarifying, I guess, the circumstances around yesterday's cancellation. At which stage did the party realize that the memorial lecture itself was not compliant with COVID-19 protocols?
Thank you very much, my brother, and good morning to you and all the viewers at home. Look, as the African National Congress, together with the African National Congress Women's League, took a decision to call off the event yesterday after realizing that there was an oversubscription of members of the ANC Women's League, the members of the community from around, and members of the ANC from the province and general public. Now, it was incumbent upon the leadership of the ANC Women's League that we do not turn this particular event into a super spreader of Omicron virus, because you know that globally we are going through that particular crisis. And as a responsible leadership of the ANC Women's League, we must congratulate them. They then took a decision to call off the event, advised the president of the ANC not to address because the event was called off. And that was done only to save lives, nothing else, nothing more.
Yeah, I hear that. The question, though, is at which stage did you realize that the event itself would have been a super spreader?
Look, the event was planned for a number of people who were bloused, the members of the ANC Women's League who were bloused before. But there was an oversubscription, and some of the people found themselves inside the venue. And as a result of that, we could not continue the process of delivering the lecture, because we would be intransigent as a governing party not to respect the laws of the country. And I don't think it would have spoken good or well about us. And we took a decision as the ANC, through our ANC Women's League, to call off the event, because we can't experiment with the lives of our people. There is a virus that is killing people on a daily basis. There are numbers which are increasing. So it will be naive for us as an organization to proceed, even at the point where we see it's suicidal.
I'll tell you why I asked that question. Many have already pointed out that there seems to be an exceptional handling of the situation, because the president just earlier this week was meeting with traditional leaders also in Limpopo, where there were throngs of people who are around him. That didn't appear to, I guess, move the party into a space where they felt concerns about the livelihoods or the lives of its supporters. Earlier on last year, we also had elections where, again, there were multiple moments where the president was among, I think it's safe to say, hundreds of people. And even then, there was no call to cancel those events. So what was different this time around?
What is different is because that time there was a Delta virus of COVID-19, which enough research was done in terms of its impact. Where we are now with Omicron, not enough research has been done. We don't know how the virus mutates and everything happens, but we can see numbers are increasing. Our people are dying, so we can't experiment with our people.
Well, Mr. Legoete, apologies to come in there.
That's what we're saying.
Apologies to come in there. The numbers, ironically, are actually going down. We're finding that Omicron is actually giving people more milder disease, and that's what scientists have already told us, I think, about 2 weeks ago already. So it's either the ANC is being misinformed about that, or there's something else really going on.
No, I think I must disabuse from how you conceptualize this particular matter, because the advice we received yesterday, we had to comply with it, because had we done something contrary to that, it would be another news by now. And I don't think it would have assisted us. It's fait accompli. We took a decision. The event was called off. It will be called again, where the president will address members of the Women's League on a hybrid process. And I think it's done for now. and let's appreciate.
Okay, one more question around this before then I move on. If there was going to be an oversubscription at the event, you would have seen that, I imagine, before the president makes it into the room. And if you're worried about Omicron, then by that time it was actually too late because of how infectious this variant actually is. So again, I ask the question, at which stage was there a realization that this is probably a gathering that shouldn't go ahead?
Look, I told you that there are people who forced entry yesterday, and that became risky. And at that time, the leadership had to make a decision whether to proceed or not to proceed. And in the best interest of the lives of people, in the best of interest of managing contamination of the virus, we had to call off the event through our ANC Women's League, and that's what actually happened. There is no conspiracy around this particular matter, and I'm hopeful to you and to the rest of our people so that we can assist you in the preparations of the January 8th.
Sure. Speaking about the January 8th then, following this logic, if we find that there are a lot of people that attend tomorrow's event where the president is going to speak, can we expect the ANC to cancel that one too?
Look, all points are clear. All preparations are ready. Only 2,000 people will be accredited in the old Peter Mokaba Stadium. We would like to encourage all other members of the ANC who are not part of the 2,000 not to be closer to the stadium, to watch from all platforms, our ANC platform, including all TV channels that will be there in the event. So preparations for tomorrow are under control. We are confident that all people who are going to be accredited, so far the process is about to be completed, and we hope that everybody else will watch from TV.
The impression you're giving is that with the memorial lecture yesterday, people in some respects were able to force their way into the venue, and that's what I'm asking about tomorrow. In the event that a similar series of events unfold for tomorrow, is it a far-gone conclusion that the ANC will then cancel tomorrow's event as well, to follow through on the logic that you pointed out today?
No, look, I don't think stucking on the mat of yesterday will assist us. I'm putting it to you that by now, as the African National Congress, we are prepared for the event of tomorrow. All security protocols have been followed. All health protocols will be followed, including the point that everybody would go through into the stadium will have to go to a point where they are checked. Where possible, if they accept, they will be vaccinated, those who are ready to do so. And thermometers will be there, sanitizers will be there. There is enough spacing inside the stadium that has been allocated to all participants, and people who attendees will be there. So all things are ready so far for tomorrow. There's no way that the event will be cancelled because this time at least we've learned, we have prepared much more and much better.
Let me ask one more time. I have no doubt around your levels of confidence behind your own level of preparedness. I'm asking you to help me scenario build here. If, for unforeseen reasons, the event is overcrowded, more people land up in that venue, the event you're saying will still go ahead?
It's not possible for the event to get an oversubscription. Everybody who's going to be in the event tomorrow will be accredited. Proper registrations are being done, and only people who are accredited, security will check them. They'll also go for sanitization. All COVID protocols will be followed. So tomorrow it's not possible. Or that there will be a likelihood of an oversubscription or of people forcing entry. Security will be there from the ANC, from the law enforcement agencies of the country, from private securities that we have acquired their services. So that will be there to ensure that proper access to the venue is followed, and all members of the public, including leaders of the ANC and members of the ANC and members of community will be joining us, are also properly there and safe proper processes are followed, and I don't foresee any possibility of the event being cancelled.
Dakota Legoete is the ANC spokesperson. So once again, thanks very much indeed for making time to speak to us. So there you have it. The party cancelled yesterday's event, mainly because the difference between yesterday and when elections were held is that we're dealing with a different variant. All right.